So, by being aware of your thoughts and by being aware of your feelings, you can challenge and change your thoughts and you can manage your emotions, and they are the keys to your freedom and they are your pathway to your positive new future in the community and your engagement with your significant others. But what you're doing, or what I'm asking you to do, is to be conscious. That is, be conscious of your thoughts and be conscious of your feelings, and that consciousness can be quite a challenging construct to understand. So the fact that you're doing it is a credit to you. Another metaphor, or a metaphor that a neuropsychologist by the name of Dan Siegel uses, is the wheel of awareness. And if you can picture or imagine a wheel and the rim of the wheel, and on the rim of the wheel has been all your thoughts and all your feelings, and still that's where they are. All your thoughts and feelings are out on the rim of this wheel. But as you've gone through life, you've just been oblivious to your thoughts and oblivious to your feelings, and they've been left out on the rim of the wheel. And as you've rolled through life, you've just been driven in any direction that wheel takes you. So by being conscious of your thoughts and by being conscious of your feelings, you're coming back to the hub. That's to the center of the wheel, and that's where the shaft is, and that's where all the control is. So that's what I'm asking you to do, to spend some time back in that hub of what Dan Siegel calls a hub of awareness, and taking that time out to challenge your unhelpful thinking and put strategies in place to manage your emotions. So once again, metaphor is a wheel of awareness. For too long you've been out on the rim of that wheel, so time to come back to the center, and by being in the center you can strengthen up your hub, acknowledge your thoughts, recognize your feelings, and start taking control. So another metaphor, so there's nothing new in all this stuff. I mentioned Viktor Frankl in the middle of last century, and then Dan Siegel recently, but we can go back thousands of years to the time of Aristotle. So he was an ancient Greek philosopher, 300 or 400 years BC, and what they talked about, they called them the ancients, but what they talked about then was just imagining a cork floating on top of the ocean, and that cork is that the can be just sent anywhere and directed anywhere because of the currents and because of the winds and because of the tides, totally out of control. But what the ancients suggested was, well, just taking time to sit below the surface. So you could still look up at the cork, but you weren't being driven by the currents, you weren't being driven by the storms, but you could just sit peacefully just below the surface of the water. You could acknowledge your thoughts, but you were safe below the surface. You could acknowledge your feelings, but you weren't being driven by the rough seas and turbulence above and the storms above. You just took time out to reflect on your thoughts and reflect on your emotions. So, look, that's what you're doing here. It's the whole principle that underpin cognitive behavior therapy. So cognitive is thoughts, and it's just a credit to you that you're taking that time to consider your thoughts. So whatever metaphor works for you, whether it be the wheel of awareness, where you're strengthening up the hub, or you don't want to be a cork you've been a cork in your life for too long, being driven by substance abuse and alcohol abuse and thrown around by all and sundry. So just by taking some time out, you've got the capacity to start controlling your life and your future. So once again, look forward to seeing how you go with your worksheets. Thank you very much, Joseph.